Welcome back, everyone. OWCS Stage 2 main event. This is day number 2, and we've already had some incredible games. We got another one coming our way. It's going to be an elimination match. Supershy and the opposition, Peace and Love, have to fight to stay alive. Peace and Love coming off of a devastating loss, like a hard one. Meanwhile, Supershy probably riding the high of a very impressive performance yesterday. They themselves said that they have exceeded their own expectations. They've taken down and measured up against very strong teams. Ex-Oblivione in the group stage, and yesterday they took out a fan favorite. Oh yeah, but how far can they take it?
Honestly, this is a team that just look clean.
Yeah,
they look clean. Like we had our worries about playing Oh Yeah, because it's a pretty, complicated Junkrat wrecking ball composition that can really throw you off your game. But it just felt like Supershy was in control of all of it. Same goes for their match against Ex-Oblivione in group stage, which hadn't qualified to the main event. They just like they were in control of the matchup. I've been really impressed with the way they played the Surasa composition. Hitori with some standout moments. But Zoro and Pac as the damage threat on this team really been solid for Supershy.
Yeah, and on the other side, Peace and Love, had some good performances to even get here, but I am a little bit more worried for them. I think maybe, like, name value-wise, maybe these players I would have ranked higher before the tournament, but as you said, watching Supershy play, they look fearsome. So I think Psycho in particular, I think I need to see a big performance on Tracer. I think that's maybe one of the ways in for Peace and Love is, a big performance on the Tracer. Maybe they can mix it up with the tanks. But honestly, I'm curious with these two teams. Neither of them really at the top of the pack. Are they going to be taking from ENCE and SSG? These teams playing more of a BAP style, leaning toward a poke style. Even the Sigma coming out for ENCE. So is this going to affect how these other teams feel about the meta? Or is this going to be a fairly standard rush mirror? I think a lot is riding on the meta. And more than just individual mechanics, it's going to be about who has a better understanding of the best heroes to play and how to use them.
This morning, really, when Peace and Love took to the stage, it wasn't their match to win. They knew that. I think the compositions we got to see from them, it was a compositional mismatch, and I think that was literally just catered to that very team. I think they just tried to not play into a mirror match with SSG because they just felt like they couldn't win it. Also, they didn't feel like the standard composition will get anywhere, really, when going up against SSG. Surely they're not going to try the same thing here against Supershy.
No, I don't think so. We saw a similar thing from them when they played Ataraxia in the group stage, but at the same point, Ataraxia, they were playing some May symmetrical compositions back then, so you throw out the Echo. In this scenario, I very much think Supershy, they will play either Sojourn, Cassidy, with a Tracer, Pac on Tracer, and so I think we'll see a bit more of a mirror in that regard. So expecting more meta compositions, so to speak, and less Echo.
Yeah, and so far, Supershy, they looked really solid in those meta mirrors. Let's see if they can continue on the trend. It looks like they got the viewer predictions on their very side.
Wow.
Quite frankly, I think our predictions will look very much the same.
In the end with Supershy, right?
I think it can be a close game, though.
I agree, but in the end, they did eliminate Ex-Oblivione, right? Who was one of our best performers in the last main event. And so I think you have to look at Supershy as a pretty serious competitor, even though we haven't seen as much from them. The results they've had in the group speak for themselves, right? To eliminate a team who was top 4 the last tournament, you kind of assume that position as a pretty serious team to go up against. And so for Peace and Love, even though they're both lesser known, I still have to favor Supershy.
Yeah, I'm also going with Supershy, and that's not just recency bias because we saw them ending it on a dub and Peace of Love falling this morning against arguably the strongest team we have in the entire region. So, how much can you really take away from such a loss? I had to go Supershy. I hope for a close one, 3-2. Don't think it's going to be a close one, quite frankly, but the hope is there.
You don't think this is going to be a close one?
I don't actually think it's going to be a close one.
I think there's potential for this to be close, but at the end of the day, I agree. I think it's more of wishful thinking, hoping for a close series. I think in the end, it's more likelihood of stomps at this level, just because if a team has a slightly better read, I'm less confident in the other team being able to okay, we figure out what to do, we change it mid-match. That's a really hard thing to do. And so for these teams that don't have as much experience together, they're kind of going to go with what they practice, and either it works or it doesn't work.
Yeah. Look, I picked it the same, so we actually have the same prediction all of us. We got 3-2 Supershy, so
I'll be wrong
that's my pred too. But if I was Peace and Love, I wouldn't take it too personally. It just so happens that Supershy, they have Shy in their name. Shy is one of my favorite Overwatch players who we might see back in the Esports World Cup. They got a pink logo. They're with Hangzhou Spark skins. And they have a Swedish player. So if you're Peace and Love, don't beat yourself up because I didn't pred you. I have my excuses. Going with
I'm about to
change. It was just a sneak peek into the death of Johnny's brain.
A lot going on here.
Which biases are
Analysts.
the most significant in this broadcast?
You know, bias can be helpful in some.
What happens if a Rhine main goes up against a Swede?
Ooh.
Wow, that is tough. You know, that's why I like Space Station so much, because they have a Swede and a Rhine main.
That's why they have me on the broadcast to get the hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, I feel so hard hit right now.
Yeah, you both are earning your paychecks right now. I'm very impressed with what's going on here on the analyst desk. Quite frankly, though, like Supershy, I mean, it's the first time we see a team coming off such a low seed making it this far. I feel like they obviously have the advantage now of not having been on anyone's radar. Like, I don't think anyone prepped for the main event thinking like, oh, Supershy gonna figure out what to do against them. And they've just been playing so solid. They weren't really forced to like go out there with their compositions. Can they do it though, if needs be? Do they have the depth of hero pool?
I wouldn't change up too much now, would you, Jake?
No.
I'm not asking
I mean,
would. I'm asking, could they? Do they have
I think
what it
the
takes?
changes that are sort of available for me based on usually the hero specificity is just, can the Kiri go BAP, can the Sojourn go Cassidy? So I think most teams are playing the Kiri and the Sojourn prior to this event, but the more I see, the more I like, especially the Cassidy, even with Kiri, but also even the BAP, even dropping the Rush, which I always was saying this is the best ultimate in the game. It's incredibly powerful, but you're just a little bit faster and more flexible with the BAP.
Yeah. If I recall correctly, I do think that we saw Peace and Love on Paraiso. They were one of the teams who, you know, could opt into the Echo Tracer with a on a brig kind of lineup as we saw Pirates in Pajamas do yesterday in the North American region. So, you know, most maps might be the Orisa, Sojourn, Cassidy kind of composition. But there are a couple of maps in the pool, you know, Junkertown, if you wanted to change things up. Maybe we can see a few different compositions in that regard. And especially if Peace and Love are so inclined to play the Echo, maybe that is a comfort pick for Psycho. Maybe you can pick some maps in the pool where maybe you'd cater to that.
I'm down for a Paraiso, you know, a little mix-up. The Winston, I think, probably is the meta on Paraiso. If both teams are at the highest level, I mean, that's such a vertical map. It's kind of the one in the pool that really screams on a Winston to me.
And we saw Hitori play some Winston too, I think. So, you know, why not? Why not? Yeah, let's play Winston. Come on.
Speaking into, I mean, not that far-fetched. There's definitely quite a few maps in the pool where you can make it work if you're really, really insisting on it. We saw Winston being played quite a bit actually on Eichenwalde during groups as well. So it's not too out there. What works in the Korea could work here too, right? Why not?
Just be as good at Winston as Smurf.
Diva Cast
You'll be
Torb.
fine.
I want to see
Yeah,
the
if
Diva
you
Cast
squint your
Torb.
eyes, it feels
Wait,
like
all right,
you're
Diva Cast
watching-
Torb is for real, though. This is a legit
Yeah,
comp. This is a legit
that's
comp.
why it's an awesome comp, because it's Torb for real.
It's Torb for real. Is that in the books?
I'm a Torb head this meta, guys. I am a Torb head this meta. I'm going to go on record and say I'm a Torb head.
It's a Swedish hero.
Bye.
Oh, God. My God.
Begin excavation log. Sloan Cameron here on side to Petra. Me and the White Finders just found the coolest artifact I think I've ever... Again? Come on! Whoa, whoa, whoa! If you want to mess with these artifacts, you gotta go through me. Hey, I'm on to you! I gotta tell you, I wanna scream it out. I'm gonna show you, here's what it's all about. Up top, you big doofus. Rock and roll. Just can't believe
even serious. I love the sound of that.
An EXO against the wall, and Team Peps will full cap.
Where did Pelican come from? Straight on top of their heads.
Quartz won't let them stand much longer, kneecapping 3 in that fight.
The new kings of EU have been crowned. Toronto defiant in an absolute shutout. Some kings were born to rule. Welcome back. After a brief delay, we're back. We're ready. Third match of EMEA coming up in just a moment. Peace and Love versus Supershy Rose.
I'm excited about this matchup because right now the door feels so wide open to who could potentially take that third spot at DreamHack Dallas and Space Station Gaming, both punching their tickets there with their wins in the semifinals today. I think both of these teams, they have proven their worth throughout the group stages, and I just can't wait to see how they're going to stack up against each other in this match.
Well, Oasis is our first map of this series. A little change from Nepal a little bit earlier. As we load in, chat very much in favor of Supershy. Des 2, I mean, look, they didn't end up taking down EXO, another like titan of the region. See if they can kind of continue that one here in the lower bracket. Of course, you have to be perfect from here on out. Still got tough competition as you move through that. But Peace and Love, starting on a little bit of Winston here, a little bit of dive from both teams by the looks of it. Just exactly what Johnny wanted.
Hey, who doesn't love a little bit of dive every now and then, especially when we get to treat it to it so much over in the APAC regions. But Supershy, Hattori has been able to play both the Orisa and the Winston to really high success during this stage 2. Not even just being able to just show off these aggressive jumps, but just such good reactions.
Ooh, nice boot there by Sobek. Almost ending LSU's life pretty quickly. So the best thing you do as Lucio player, just like get the Winston out of the bubble or like boot them back in when they're trying to jump away. Point unlocks, and thus the juggle of the point will commence. However, quick wraparound from Zoro here. Oh, that Magnate, surely it's over for the Soj. No, a cleanse coming through from a beak, making sure the Soj stays alive. See if they want to go on another flank. A lot of pressure right now coming out from Zoro. However, LSU's trying to make this hurt a little bit. Zoro does end up falling, and there's the kills. Teleport from Tekuno. Psycho following that up with a kill. Supershy almost getting the point cap there, but Peace and Love end up capping first. Really nice rotational play from Peace and Love. Oh, another small touch. Yeah, Pack, you're going to pay for that one. Not sure that was even worth it, to be honest with you. You're going to stag yourself a little bit.
Maybe hoping that the rest of Supershy would be there to be able to follow up on that initial touch and deny that point capture from Peace and Love, but nobody was there. And so we do have to wait a couple of seconds for Pack to be able to come back, but Pack is bringing a pulse bomb to the party.
A big use in that Suzu super early, but yeah, here comes the rush from Tekuno on the side. He's going to grant a little bit of space, and Peace and Love do end up walking off that pulse bomb as well. There's Peace and Love trying to get into this fight. Although Supershy making it quite difficult. They're kind of running them around right now, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Peace and Love just still controlling this point. 4-man sound barrier from Bayer as Tekuno falls. Same as Zoro. You see Supershy wanting to take fights, but Peace and Love just running around them. It's like, okay, you try and come to us. Like, you have to burn CDs, you have to burn movement cooldowns to try and get on top of us, to try and start some of these fights. It's tough to do. Peace and Love still in control, and with a good ultimate bank as well for this next fight.
I mean, talk about the movement of capabilities. Lauren power slided away from that post bomb from Pack. So not susceptible to being taken out by that ultimate and just being able to make these quick wraparounds. But they're pushing the pressure. Oh my god.
And a blink of the eye, Zoro's already dead. Primal Rage to knock Lauren away all the way back to the spawn doors, but wrong spawn. Here comes the Winston again. LSU picks up Tekuno. Both backliners for Supershy now dead. So Hattori, she's left on an island. 85% for Peace and Love. Psycho could, if they land a stick here, maybe onto Zoro, already use roll. I mean, probably didn't hear that from that far away, but Pulse Bomb might tip the scales in their favor. Someone has to touch here from Supershy. Oh, Pulse on the shield.
Well, at least it's opened up the door here for Hittori to come in and get that flip, and Supershy as a team can start to rack up some percentage of their own, but not before Alessi is actually going to use this Primal Rage, help to push back the rest of Supershy, and they're even going to invest a sound barrier here.
Yeah, they know if they win this one, it's pretty much round. Spire comes up with a big beat. You see all LSU trying to get onto the back line, just push Zoro away. All the CDs were burnt, like the roll, the magnate, everything. Psycho hunting for pack 2, who's 1 HP pretty much. Ends up dashing to the mega health pack, but has to hit the recall. Is going to be there to touch in just a second, but who lands in Psycho's lap? Well, it's Sobek, who he joined actually by pack on the sidelines, but LSU just taking control of the frontline fights. A rush onto the point for Supershy, but no one is there to actually use it. Peace and Love cleaning up. Nice clean kill on Dolorem, but it doesn't matter. There's the cap.
A quick capture too. Peace and Love made that first round look very dominant. Their Winston dives were very clean. They were able to just play together as a unit, and they were the more aggressive Winston team. I think that's something that they can really keep up to their advantage, is just by continuing to put the onus on Supershy to find responses and to actually have to play on the defensive. Oh, they're going to switch up their comp too. Supershy is going to try to go over to the Surasa instead.
Yeah, a little Surasa. So if you get set up on the high ground first, it's kind of tough for the Winton to stay up on the high ground, to be fair. Especially if the enemy team's kind of running Orisa, so the safer bet here feels like the horse. So
you just get like pushed on if you are just sitting there as the Winston. You have those cooldowns that you need to be able to jump away, but it's going to be a little bit of a tussle over this high ground control as someone gets set up to maybe even try to boop somebody off if they move up there.
Yeah, there's no way you really push into this. Oh, Sobek messing up just a tad there. Oof. Almost ends up going off the map. Has to get the reset, means there's no pressure on that doorway any longer. And Peace and Love know it. Hittori going super low. She does end up getting healed up, but at what cost? Supershy are pressuring right now. Same with Peace and Love. It's all about this high ground control. Nice spear. We've seen LSU just dropping to the floor, but it might be exactly what they need. In fact, Hittori is going to join them. So we're also taking a little bit of damage too in the front line. It's all about trading the cooldowns to the Orisa right now. You gotta know Hittori's on the back foot. There it is. Yeah, a later use of the Fortify from LSU. They're able to push up. Easily pinned down Hittori. And there it is. Peace and Love get the cap. Nice team kill too. Double support ultim available already. So much damage done in that fight actually from both sides.
Yeah, this is going to be a very powerful fight coming up. A lot of times we'll see like the Kitsune Rush get used to at least try to initiate the fight, but I also think that there's a pretty strong case here for Psycho to try to wrap around Supershy and just go in and try to get this Pulse Bomb down. Some really nice targets, especially just get that Suzu out of the way from Tekuno. It really opens the door up for Peace and Love to keep this.
Ooh, a little wide. Wow, Orisa just tanked that Pulse Bomb. Gold moment, I suppose. Orisa moment. Didn't even need the Suzu. LSU taking a lot of damage. You gotta heal him. Yeah, they just end up falling over. The high noon not even needed by the looks of it. Nice little headshot onto a beak. Zoro taking names and numbers on the flank. All right, Peace and Love. Pretty easy team fight there, it looked like. 50% almost there for Peace and Love, though. Not too bad. Supershy now in control, and with 4 ults. That's a big ult to use, too, and losing the fight from Peace and Love. No more rush available.
Yeah, it's really nice that Supershy is going to hold on to that one. They didn't have to use it in response to the rush coming up from Peace and Love. That Deadeye was plenty to be able to just make sure that you were taking out those pieces in the back. So to have that tool now as Peace and Love have to try to engage on you, it's a really nice way to be able to meet them in that main and just try to take him out. But it comes out of these sound barriers too from Vaya and Sobek.
Kitsune rush, sound barriers galore. This overclock's going to get work done on the overhealth. Oh, the pulse bomb a little bit too late there by the looks of it. Coming out from Pack, couldn't quite time it with that Terror Surge. Every ult invested, and there's 1 kill. Zoro down. Regular railgun as well, not even the overclock. Tekuno also falls. Looks like it's going the Peace and Love's way. That was a heavy investment of both, from both teams. And Supershy losing the point. That is not a good fight to lose. With 50% of building now for Peace and Love. And Abik's already up to another rush. Look at that, 75%.
That's crazy. I mean, you're just going to have the Kitsune Rush online the next time Supershy come to attack this point, and the Deadeye might not be enough to be able to zone the entire team back at this point. Especially now that we're working up to this point in the map where we could just be in last fight territory. Depends on how long Supershy take to actually come and engage on this one, and they're looking for Zoro to get some good damage there onto the back line. The High Noon will be available though, so maybe that's going to be the big difference maker, but the Kitsune Rush from Epic, oh, Baya's down.
It is down. Zoro just a couple of clicks to the head. There comes the rush. Oh, and a Deadeye kill too from Zoro. That's 2 dead already. And he's checking the flank. Wow, Zoro doing everything right now. Everything correct. Psycho dodging out of the way of those shots, but that's the 3rd for Zoro in this fight already. Does end up dipping towards the point as Peace and Love nearing that 99% mark. They're going to be able to force this into OT as Supershy. They may be winning the fight, but Peace and Love, they got the percentage that they require. Only one more fight now for them. Really, Zoro coming alive there at the beginning of that.
Usually we don't see that type of firepower come out from something like a Deadeye. Usually it's like, well, you take a look at Space Station, you need to have the symmetric teleporter to actually get yourself in a better angle in order to land that ultimate, but that was great positioning there from Zoro to be able to get that. But now, Supershy, they've earned themselves this Kitsune Rush and no sound barriers.
Psycho knows the threat, just chasing after Zoro, but a good boot from Sobek stops Psycho connecting that pulse bomb onto Zoro. Rush utilized as well by Supershy. Good disengagement from Peace and Love. Now nearing the final fight for Supershy also. Pack hiding, waiting. Spot Psycho on the sidelines. Try and gets to marking the enemy tracer so they don't have a free avenue of attack. LSU puts themselves on the point, but at what cost? Lauren getting pulsed on the high ground. Pack appears seemingly out of nowhere, but there comes the Terror Surge. They've already used that beats. Nice boop in onto the Lucio, but Sobek receives the Suzu just in time to stay alive. Now LSU, who was setting up for a giant ult, a massive Terror Surge, just gets completely denied by both the sound barrier and the Suzu coming out from Supershy's backline. Just standing stalwart in the face of the Terror Surge. And Peace and Love end up going down 1-1 now on Control.
That was a much closer round as well, with Peace and Love being able to capture that 99% before Supershy took it. So I'm really excited. Maybe this is going to be the close series what we were hoping that we would get a chance to see between these two teams. But of course, it's only been the first 2 rounds of this map, and we're going over to University to decide it all. But taking a look at the Orissas, I think, like, especially at the beginning of that second round when we saw the Orisa versus Orisa originally, I thought that LSU was doing a better job of being able to mark down Hitori's cooldowns and just being able to engage when Spear Spin was down, having to force out the Fortify so early, and that's what we're going to have to keep an eye on between this mirror match, is how do these Orissas keep track of all of those things to try to push an advantage front to back.
Oh!
No way!
What a spear!
No way!
Oh, another one too, but all good. Tank passive, not being pushed back as far as the Soj. That is unfortunate. You're like, yay, we took high ground, guys. Oh, I'm dead.
Bye.
Rough stuff. No way that. Okay, all good. Yeah, tank passive. All good. All good.
God.
Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. LSU's not going to get another one. Surely. Surely.
I wouldn't put it past at this point, though. I think that's the danger of trying to go over to the side with the environmentals, is it's not just the Lucio now you got to watch out for. It's definitely the Orisa, too.
Esperanza Zoro slows him down somewhat, and enough for a railgun charge shot to hit. A spear, too. Man, both the Tori and LSU are just kind of dominating the Orisas right now. His spears are so accurate. Nice. Tori gets another one with a spear. Both, I think both Orisas. Spear accuracy nearing the 80+% mark, surely.
You got to be good at that cooldown if you're going to play Orisa. It's one of the reasons why we've seen Orisa pick so much in the EMEA region, is just being able to have a little bit of everything at your disposal. Just pushing the other team back can feel so good to be able to also use that spear to maybe lock down an ultimate, but we haven't come up on too many quite yet. Tekuno and Abik going to get those Kitsune rushes online, though, into this next fight. Hitori actually going to have the Terror Surge, too.
Tori has to back off. Later rush here, maybe faking it a little bit. There's the Terror Surge. Anybody in the zone? No. Hattori instantly spear spinning out of that one. Doesn't want the incoming damage. Pulse bomb onto Lauren in the back line. Ends up rolling away, and here comes the high noon. Hattori has to get out of there ASAP. You see him pull the trigger there just before that skull came up, meaning most of the damage is already done, and they can follow up, and a beak secures the kill on Hattori. She ends up falling, and the rest of Supershy were to follow. Peace and Love got the cap. 25% now in building.
So it's so back and forth between these two teams as well. I mean, Peace and Love, I think you look at the Terror Surge right now and just these sound barriers to be able to maybe keep control at this point. But this Terror Surge has really just been good to be able to pull some of these players together. So watching those mobility cooldowns, something like the power slide, is going to be important to keep an eye on.
Wow, as soon as that overclock was ripped there from Zoro, both the sound barrier and the Terror Surge used to kind of dissuade the Sojourn from getting away with anything cheeky. 50% and building. Really good response from Peace and Love. Exceptionally good. They peeked the doors on the left-hand side. That do Zoro and someone else, and instantly, as you saw, just run him down. Just try and get on top of him, use the Terror Surge, and then the sound barrier came in just to secure the fight.
It's looking really good so far. Supershy do have that sound barrier advantage coming into this next fight, but Abik is already going to be at another Kitsune rush. And Takuno's just down. How did that happen?
Okay, I mean, spark a moment, I suppose. Lauren taking one. Sound barrier in from Sobek, really wanting to fight this fight. Hattori is dead, Takuno's coming back. That sound barrier, I mean, I guess you survived the rush. I mean, Zoro didn't because they were stuck in low ground. That sound barrier from Sobek, a little bit questionable. Peace and Love, they got 95% now, and someone has to touch. Pac is getting chased by Psycho, and Psycho even has a pulse bomb if he really wants to use it. I mean, Pac has got the recall, ends up getting touch. Nice heads-up play, getting out of there ASAP. No one for Supershy falling just yet, but that pulse bomb's going to do some serious damage to the front line, as Satori now has to play a little bit more passive, waiting for heals. Should be a little bit easier, though, with this rush on the point, but they can't really make use of it. Eventually, the spear spin coming on board and coming online for Hattori as they put themselves on the point. But there's no more CDs left for the Orisa, and Pac is already down. A Susu just saved Hattori for the time being, as Peace and Love still control the points. Sobek falls down the hole, and is no longer relevant in this fight as Hattori gets focused down, and then Peace and Love will take the round and the map.
Peace and Love putting up a really good showing here in our very first map. We were kind of looking at this and going, maybe this could be a 5-map series on the board, but we really could have that at our hands. Those were some very, very close rounds, especially that second one, and it came down to just being able to find that value from those ultimates, and right now, Peace and Love get the better upper hand of that.
Yeah, that was a really strange beat from Sobek, which really kind of spiraled into them losing that round. Like, you're using beat in what it was, it seemed to be like a lost situation. It felt like maybe someone made the call, like, we can jump in, we can win this. It's not like, we're not going to lose this out. No way. Like, we can sound barrier here. Takuno's gonna TP back to the rest of the team. We've lost the Orisa, but maybe if we get a pick or two, like, we can really force something here and then we can cap. But it ended up going completely the opposite way, with LSU just kind of running down Zoro, and then the damage just disappears. Really rough stuff at the end there from Supershy. But yeah, close series on the cards by the looks of it, Rose, like you were saying. Unlike the previous two series, quick 3-0s from both of them. So I'm glad we're getting a little fight.
We were due.
Exactly.
Oh, we were just due. We were due for some closer Overwatch today, I think. So very much excited to see if the series can go the distance. But I'm in agreement. I think, like, right now I'm looking at Supershy to have to make some adjustments to make sure that they're on the same page. And Lucio's, I feel for them right now in this meta, in this timeline. It is so difficult to judge when you should use your sound barrier, because a lot of times it is finding those spots where you feel confident to maybe keep up an aggressive push or feel like you have an advantage that you can continue to press if you're able to gift that sound barrier over to so many people. But as we see going through in the highlights, there was a point where we were at like 80% and that sound barrier had been used, and I would have also loved to see that get saved for a future fight because you still had a chance to come back.
Whew, that elimination difference is a little insane. 126
That's
to
crazy.
65. That went 3 rounds
Double?
as well, yeah. Here's the Cassidy stats from that last map, Lauren versus Zorro. But yeah, double limbs, less deaths, more damage, but higher KDA, obviously, right? Double limbs is pretty nasty there from Lauren.
That's wild. I mean, I think it's just so telling sometimes too in this meta where you have to be able to get those picks that you could really look at those damage stats to say, okay, well, it's kind of all coming together. The cards are falling in the direction where you're seeing like the Cassidy or the Sojourn being able to lay down that damage. And it's why Cassidy's felt so good in a meta like this too. You could take out Orisa pretty easily there, right? 5 shots to the head, and that's all she wrote for a hero like that.
Exactly.
If you're not getting any healing.
Yeah.
So, it feels good, and you have high impact on a hero consistently.
Because you don't want to get bursted out, right? Orisa, pretty big head hitbox at the end of the day. Like, you're going to get rolled if you don't use the cooldowns.
Watermelon.
Exactly, it's huge. And like, the issue is yeah, if you got a Cassidy that's that like crispy on the aim, like you're forcing the spear spin there, you're forcing the gold most importantly, and then you have to play just so much more like tempered in order to get back into the fight. Because a lot of the time, if you're letting the cast kind of get up into that kind of angle where they're doing like max damage to your face, like it can be a little bit rough. But yeah, a lot of this meta definitely relies on those Cassidys, and we saw how effective it can be in the Space Station game. Like Sparker just kind of rolling on the cast. Let's go on to the next map though. Eichenwalde. No substitutions either for both sides.
Okay, so this is where we start to see a little bit more when the map comes down to a pretty clear dichotomy of an attack versus a defensive side. And I'm curious to see if both of these teams are going to continue to stick to like the Orisa plus the Cassidy. Do we see more Sojourn end up coming out from either of these DPS players? I don't know. It's like you play the Cassidy to try to play a little bit closer to the rest of the team, but both of these teams also really like playing the Kiriko. So I think there's a case to be made for either of those.
All right, we'll see what they want to run out with. As we jump onto Eichenwalde.
Oh my God, do we see the Winston?
I think it's possible. I think it's a little rough though. Like you have to play first point with like Ram or something like that. A little bit more frontward facing, and then switch when you get to second. But looks like it's just going to be the Orisa. A little bit more consistent, I think, for a lot of teams. The Winston requires so much more out of the character and like out of the comp and the team than the Orisa does. Orisa can stand on her own most of the time, so.
Yeah, and you still have high ground access. Just walk up the stairs with your Lucio. I think that's a generic strategy that's worked really well for people. Oh my God. Is there anything cuter in the game than the Orisa emote with the puppy?
The way she picks it up, it looks crazy. I do like the Brig Cat one as well.
Cute.
Or the Torb, when the Torb has the
cute.
mini turrets. That's a good one too. Very cute.
I think that's what we want. Is just more emotes with animals.
Exactly. I'm waiting for one of them to put a fish. Give me a fish emote.
Oh my God.
I don't know who would keep
that
a
would be
fish,
amazing.
Though. I don't know who I'd trust on the Overwatch roster
Venture?
to keep a fish, to be very honest with you. Yeah, maybe Venture. They like rocks, and rocks, you know, you can make some cool aquascapes.
Exactly.
Maybe they're an aquascape in their free time. Not sure. Not sure. I can be contacted for information, Blizzard, just FYI, if you wanna make it happen. Sobek is pretty low. My word. It's like they have a vendetta against Sobek or something. Sobek just gets every CD burnt just to kill the Lucio. Very much worth, though. Wow, that was an incredible amount of punishment for Sobek's positioning. That should be the point, too.
I like Lucio's in these day and age. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't on something like the Soundbeer with such small room for error, and then like you're so punished with your positioning as well, knowing that the other team is just like not gonna let that go so easily. So we're already gonna get the car rolling. Peace and Love with a very quick take of that point A. They're able to push the objective just a little bit further, but Supershy, they can take control of this high ground first, while Peace and Love try to figure out how they're gonna approach the rest of it. Waiting for these castle doors to open and maybe something to come online, but Psycho is gonna have a pulse bomb heading into this next one, and quite honestly, LSU also putting in a ton of work here on the Orisa to have that Terror Surge up quick as well.
Oh, nice pulse! Oh, Zorro, 12 HP!
Woohoo!
Got that explosion attached to Hitori there. They managed to survive. Good stuff. Hitori using the rush. She tries to... Oh, Sobek's being bullied again. All good, though. Manages to escape for the time being.
Maybe not for too long. Peace
Terror
and Love, they
Surge.
still want to go into this with their Kitsune Rush.
Yeah, Kitsune Rush and Terror Surge. Not sure there's any escaping for that one. Nice little lead too on Pack's post bomb. All right, you take that any day of the week. Sure work right now. Peace and Love are making of the defense of Supershy. Sobek's not having the best of times on the Lucio, but I think more just focusing him down is important, especially because it helps Zoro a lot of the time too. The peel for the Cassidy is just so nice from the Lucio.
Yeah. Get rid of that, and then everything is easy goings for taking control of
They know Zoro's
backline,
there.
but
Surely they know. Or Lauren even. I think they saw them dash out. Very messy fight this. Lauren has been in the back line forever. It's probably worth a reset. Oh, there you go. Forcibly reset.
Goodbye.
Nice spear. I'm telling you, Hattori and LSU have been insane with the spears. There you go. Kind of point proven. All right.
crazy.
A reset here. Reset for Peace and Love. That was a wasted time there, but all good. Group is 5. You got ults.
Got Terror Surge. The sound barrier is going to be really nice to have on both sides. Zoro, if they can keep this like high ground control. Ooh.
Nice. That was almost a kill too.
Great
Lauren.
spear.
All right, Psycho is going to touch the point here, but Hattori, well, Terror Surge available. There's the sound barrier from Bayer, trying to get that going. However, in this small room, Hattori playing a gatekeeper. Overclock might be a little bit too much more damage than they asked for or realistically wanted. Zoro still manages to click the head of Lauren past LSU. No idea how he got that ang, but he did successfully. He's going to descend down to the point now. And those spears do be a-flying. LSU on the point, but Supershy should be able to get back in time. Pulse bomb on the Orisa. Nice kills coming through from Pack and Tekuno. A lot of that damage from that pulse bomb ended the Orisa's life too.
Oh my god. What a scrappy fight though. I think both of these teams, they like just want to continue to play very like confident. And so hey, I'm here for it. If you feel like you can take the fight, then invest another ultimate in. It did not work out for Peace and Love on this attack push, but they still have this Kitsune Rush and just an ultimate advantage right now.
We're trying to flood onto the point right now as Pack already fallen. A couple of meters to go. Any touches? No. Both DPS dead almost instantly there from Supershy. Explosive ordnance with that Magnate too. It's so tough to kind of get away from. But Peace and Love just kind of walk all over the Cassidy. And that's the big thing too. If you can take down the Cass that early, and obviously the Tracer, it's just so much easier to kind of walk into the back line. Your Sojourn's not really got a fear of anything. Same with the Lucio.
Yeah. Way less damage to have to worry about here, but LSU can still use this Terror Surge, like another ultimate advantage for Peace and Love heading into this second stretch.
Oh my god. LSU getting rinsed in the front line there. Had to put the Terror Surge, try to find something. It's actually Sobek that goes down again. This Overclock's only 20% away as well. Peace and Love have the tools to finish this, and they've got the picks. Zoro ends up falling. No more kills can be given over right now to Peace and Love, with fear of this getting capped with time in the bank. Here comes Hattori back on the point. Tekuno is low. There's 5% away from that rush, and they need it right now because Pack is already dead. Rush comes out onto the point, but no! No one's going to jump on to get the touch on the payload. Tekuno was around the corner, same with Zoro. The kills are coming through at lightning speed, however, with that overclock from Lauren. Peace and Love finished with 2 minutes and 36 in the time bank. An impressive showing thus far. I mean, Super Shy Rose, not really. Well, they're playing a little bit shy right now. It feels like needs some more gumption in them.
I think it's so tough when Peace and Love have been marking down Sobek left and right. You remove the Lucio, you remove your mobility. There's no peeling anymore for Zoro's Cassidy, and it is way easier to take out that bigger source of damage. I think when you look at maybe how to play around that, it's just playing together more as a team, stuck on top of each other. But it's also very difficult to do when Lauren has the power slide available to get those longer angles and hitting the shots. Like, that's one of the big dangers of running the Sojourn versus the Cassidy, is you have to rely a lot on the pick potential that a charged railgun shot has, and if you miss, you know, you have to charge another one, you gotta weave behind a shield again or something, and it can be a little bit harder to keep that damage down, but Lauren's been showing up in a big way this series.
Huge so far, yeah. This is Zoro also on the Cassidy. A lot of the time, especially when we jump over to like Cass POV, It's always them just being able to pressure out the Orisa like you were mentioning before. That's the important tool you got to use. Just doing damage to Orisa, force out CDs. All good. Pack gets recalled there by the Lifeweaver. Switch over to the Tracer. Yeah, so I think Zoro maybe stepping up a little bit more here is required for Supershy. It's been a tough game for Sobek too, to be fair. Also been hounded down by the team.
Yeah. It's been so tough. I like having to keep the Lucio alive too. It can be very devastating, but like it's just Psycho going after that Lucio.
Oh, nice.
Even walking in here, Sobek was like half HP.
There you go. Okay, Zoro showing up in a big way there. Ooh, nice headshot too. Hitting that Hintonade on Psycho, something you desperately want to avoid is the Tracer. Team kill, instant cap pretty much. I mean, exactly the same thing as we saw from Peace and Love on their attack. 5 minutes plus in the time back. Okay, okay.
Close match, and 5.5 minutes is so much time to work with again. But it's about whether or not you can actually keep that momentum going, because we did see Peace and Love get stopped just a little bit here on this first part of the castle, and then they were able to like get it done. But Peace and Love, they just like don't want to give up any space to Supershy, especially when Hattori is going to be on this off angle, but she has to use that spear spin to get back in.
Nice pressure onto a beak as well. You saw Hattori. Hattori's like marking of DPS and support is kind of insane. And a lot of the time, they're allowed to just get away with whatever they choose.
She's cracked.
Oh, the stick! Oh, it got eaten by Hattori again!
Oh, they eat!
Oh my god! There's the stick. That didn't get eaten. Nice stick from Pack. All right, there you go. Payload's going again. Peace and Love going for a reset.
Oh
Double support ultimate, but only trading pulse bombs for both teams so far.
Hattori's actually so cracked though. Like, we watched her yesterday be able to just walk confidently into the back line, able to grab a pick onto a Cassidy, a Lucio, anything, and is just doing such a good job of marking down those squishier targets. Abik is, you know, one of the first to fall sometimes when Hattori does smell that blood in the water. And having this Terra Surge ready too, maybe they could go for like a Terra Kitsune, anything here feels good.
Hattori's in a little bit of trouble, saved by the sound barrier for now at least. Night cancellation on the high noon. That's a Terra Surge, and it's massive. Psycho cleaning up after everybody just basically grabbed into one place. Nice stuff coming through from LSU, just grabbing everybody in that small corridor, and Psycho just ripping them apart as Peace and Love find a very swift team kill.
It's already a good start for them as well. Just being able to stop that cart where it is. You have so many different defensive positions that you can play around. You can play on this castle. You can play in the undertow. Whoa! Had to use the Suzu there just to be able to stop this Psycho Pulse Bomb, but Peace and Love, they want to keep pushing this.
Oh, how does Hattori not die there? Oh my word. The overclock's going to come in. Oh, Tekuno just vaporize into molecules in front of Loren. 3 minutes to go for Supershy. It's worth keeping in mind, Rose, remember how they ended up getting here too. Like, they had a hell of a series against EXO in a map 5 in the decider match in the group stage.
Yeah.
The raw grit from the team is nothing to be scoffed at.
I mean, Eichenwalde, they just had a great stage number 1, and they're not here because Supershy shut them out at the door. But Peace and Love, I think this is a team that maybe comes in a little bit more underestimated. They're already putting up a great defense here, brought down that time bank to half. And Pack is trying to sneak away with this cart, but Peace and Love, they can't get split up here.
Yeah, Psycho's checking. Pack had three blinks there. 1 to spare as they do retreat to their team. Psycho forced to recall. Now Pack hunting and searching for the enemy tracer. Spots everybody grouped up. That's an easy pulse bomb, surely. Nice Suzu on the wall, though, from a beak. Saving their own life, and everybody else is around them. High noon now on the point. Did end up pulling the trigger, but there was no damage. Very little, at least, on the Orisa, who was the only one that had close to a skull. There is the... Once again, the Orisa roll just grabbing everybody forward, and Psycho just getting so much damage done, and Zoro just refusing to fall, though. Peace and Love's defense kind of crumbling before them. A lot of these Terror Surges just pulling everybody together, but I mean, sound barriers, Suzu's, just everything kind of thrown in the mix to make sure the rest of Supershy can stay alive and cap the point. 3 minutes to go. These timebacks looking ever so similar as Peace and Love go for a reset, making sure they can defend third. They want to defend as quick as they can on this corner, but it's going to be hard. Hitori's got this Terror Surge once again. It's been the tool that's found them a lot of success so far.
Have the sound barrier.
Oh. That's not a good pick. That's 2 picks already. No ults, nothing needed. 3, in fact. A beat goes down as well.
Wow, I was gonna say that like they have the sound barrier for this Terror Surge from Hitori, but they didn't use it. They're gonna need to have it now in order to actually engage, and they're gonna have to get there in time.
Pulse bomb, good connection. Suzu though coming in, clutch there, saving Loren's life. Sound barrier use from Bayer. They do end up disengaging quite easily and being super shy. There's the Terror Surge. Oh, Bayer just caught in the mix though. Tried to muddle the mixture, but didn't get out alive. Zoro in a little bit of trouble as Loren's got a nice little angle on the high ground. Takes a couple of shots, but now Loren's in trouble. Supershy going to kind of split the map on Peace and Love. As Bayer ends up coming back on the back, just to supplement the healing. And look at this high ground control from Supershy, just demolishing the backline. Just so many easy kills from Zoro. That's Kutsune Rush mixed with that Revolver. A little bit too much for Peace and Love to handle. You've got to take that high ground control back. Peace and Love got split up. Not exactly where they wanted to be, especially with that height. Like, you can't re-engage that fight if you're behind them. Like, it's so hard for Peace and Love. They just got completely split up. Good high ground control from Supershy, and that will be the cap. Bit of time bank, though, on Peace and Love's side. Only about a minute or so.
Hitori is so good at being able to get those splits, though. Whether it's just walking past the Orisa to try to get to the back line, or recognizing when you can just cut somebody off from healing sightlines or anything. Like, she just has a really good understanding of when to go do that. And so I think just Supershy maybe finally starting to figure out how to deal with this team of Peace and Love. I don't know how often these two teams have scrimmed against each other. And also, we've had a really hard time telling what Peace and Love could actually do in these matchups, because like they just played Space Station. If we want to give like some recency bias to that, that's going to be tough to figure out the power level this team can play at. So I'm excited that we're already going the distance in this map. How much closer does it get than being able to go into extra rounds on a map, Jack?
It's definitely turning out to be a close series, which I'm liking. You know, I love a little bit of free Overwatch sometimes. I love a little stomping, but it's always fun when it goes the full distance. We'll see if Pack can get it done. No, only a little bit of free ult charge on the Orisa. Yeah, I mean, they've done it before, so you're not really expecting anybody but LSU to peak there. See what Hitori can do now on the offense on this Orisa. Just been kind of sick with the spears so far, but see if she can keep it up. Oh, nice shot to Laurent. Rotational plays.
So much damage.
Kind of crazy here. Again, like you were mentioning before, Hitori has been so sick of just forcing positioning, and that's exactly what she's doing right now. Just pushing LSU all the way back. Laurent's in a little bit of trouble, just rupture shot, but look at this. The assault on the pub. Looking like Shaun of the Dead. Oh, a beak. Just got to keep LSU alive as they looking like they're going to get rotated on again as Supershy do take this bar control. Peace and Love now on the back foot. Laurent just unable to get these railgun connections. I mean, they're hitting bodies a lot of the time, but you need kills if you're the Soj. Scared of Psycho's pulse bomb there. Suzu came out as well as that spear spin to stop it from happening. And it's Sobek that comes up with the kill initially. They do end up trading both their Sojins, so it's on the Traces now to try and get this additional bit of work done. 24 seconds to go now for Supershy, with the ults approaching for both supports. Soundbarrier coming out from Via. As Peace and Love now, they're just going to front face this one, but Sobek with the latest sound barrier, and now the rushes. Some kills are going to have to come through eventually, surely. Pulse bomb, it gets teleported away. A beak still alive, and Hitori is the main focus for Peace and Love, but no one is getting kills. I mean, the Sojins are back in action. B is being focused out now by the Tracer, and Hitori has the Terror Surge, but it is Takunu killing, finally. Supershy getting it done. All to the hands of the Kiriko. Peace and Love, wiped from the first point. The team kill comes in OT, but they got the payload going, and that's what's important.
Oh my god, I was getting so nervous there. I'm like, where are the picks? Is Supershy actually going to get it done now that overtime is activated? But they were finally able to weave in those shots. Takuna doing a great job of being able to finish off those picks. And Hitori and Zaro, they have this Terra Surge and Overclock combo that they can come into this next part with. But they're up against the clock, right? It's overtime activating. They can't step off of this cart. So you just have to try to play it to those advantages.
Decent stick. Uh-oh. This ends now. Ooh. When does it end? Both Soldier's kind of staring each other in the face right now. Terra Surge on the points. Hitori needs some support desperately. There's no health to be found. No Suzu, no spear spin, no anything. Just Terra Surge. They used all their cooldowns to try and push past the gate there, but Hitori left on a little bit of an island. They needed to be able to touch, but she couldn't quite get it done. And that's Peace and Love halting the payload just after those doors. And that's a tough point to hold as well, mind you. We'll see what Supershy can do on the defenses. Peace and Love and Supershy, a very tough game. A battle of the Orisas a lot of the time, like we mentioned it before, Rose, forcing out those CDs super early. Because most of the time, I felt like at the very end, at least, it's like, okay, I use the spear spin, I use gold, and then Terra Surge to try and stay alive on the very point. And yeah, as soon as the Orishas fall, it's just it's opening the floodgates pretty much for the DPS to do whatever they want on the backline.
Yeah, and I think too, like, if like LSU is going to be able to notice that, you see spear spin, you see the Orisa back up, and it's like, okay, like, we've got them. We know that they're trying to run away, try to grab some healing, anything, just wait for those cooldowns to come back. So push forward, walk into them, do the thing. I think that's what we're going to see a lot of, is just that kind of ebb and flow of how these Orisas actually stand up to one another. And LSU is doing a great job of holding down that front line. But they have 2.5 minutes here. Jaws, they could go for 2 full attempts. They even use the Symmetra teleporter to try to take this engagement a little bit quicker.
I really like that, actually. Torion on off angle. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Almost instantly critical HP from LSU. Now Tori's on the offensive rather than defensive. Forcing the recall from both races. Pretty important thing to do. And a rotation is incoming. We'll see how Peace and Love want to play this. I mean, both DPS obviously try and take off angles as much as they can with the help of the Kiriko. LSU absorbing that railgun shot from Zoro, hitting that spear spin, but Lauren in trouble. Didn't even need a fully charged railgun for that one. But again, both Sojins have been traded. And now where do the kills come in? I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for another 2-minute stall. Nice Suzu from Takuno to get Hitori out of there alive. She ends up living, but where's the re-engage? Are they going to go for another touch? Of course, the payload is just, and the golden box of victory is so close. Looks like Tracer's back in. Pack on the point with a pulse from Psycho. Goes wide. It's actually Pack that goes down. The rush onto the point for Supershy. They've got it in this small choke point. They've lost their Tracer.
So Tracer's going to have to take some time to get back into this, and this Kitsune rush, it's been nice to have that as a bit of an advantage moving into this next part or the final part of this map. Yeah,
you just rip it first. You're not going to worry about Tekono using his. I mean, Pat with the pulse in the back line as well does end up getting booted away. There's the stick. Oh my god, if that landed, that was so close. Pack just relieving a bit of pressure from the front line. Hitori trying to dance away. No CDs remaining. There's the Terra Surge to end it all. And Peace and Love secure match point in the series. An insane finish there at the very end. You saw Hitori once again, all the cooldowns forced out of her. Now LSU just pulled the trigger like, hey, you got nothing. I'm walking to your backline. There's nothing you can do. Beautiful stuff from Peace and Love. Just an absolute bloodbath. Very much closer than it looks right now in terms of the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, BA didn't even use a sound barrier there. You didn't even have to have it once you were able to just push forward the Kitsune rush. Peace and Love have done a great job of identifying when they can keep that aggression going, and I think that's something that Supershy has really struggled with. Maybe not always being on the same page when Hitori wants to go in and push that advantage herself, but I don't know. Yeah, it's very, very close maps here for the two, but Peace and Love, they've come up big on all of these maps so far just to be able to get the upper hand. It might be a 3-0, Jack. I don't know.
It might be a 3-0. It's a close 3-0. That's the thing, yeah.
But
both teams going to additional rounds, of course, on this one and on Control as well, to be fair. It's so funny because both fights on that next round was like both Sojuns died like not instantly, but pretty quickly. And then it was up to kind of the Tracers there, but it was a little bit more decisive at the very end, and that early rush really cost Supershy there. They ended up using it to the point, and they got a good angle on it too. They kind of could have flooded out the small little choke point, but they kind of hesitated maybe a little bit and decided we're going to back off. We're going to take the fight at the doors instead when we have 5, because their Sojun was only just kind of coming back, but the spawns were closer. I think it was the Tracers actually. Both Tracers end up trading near the end of that fight. The Tracers back, and obviously after capping, the spawns are so close. Yeah, and then just kind of fell over from there. Peace and Love are up the 2-0 though, wanting to advance here in this lower bracket.
I think you bring up a good point though, right? Where like we are kind of seeing a bit of the mismatch of how these two teams are really stacking up against each other. These map stats are super close.
Yeah, look at the elims.
Like, talk about how close this series is. Yeah, I'm matching elims 108 to 108. The KD is very close together. Damage dealt just a little bit in favor there of Peace and Love, but like this is as close as it gets for a lot of the matches we've seen so far in EMEA.
Yeah, I mean, Peace and Love, they lose out on the KDA battle as well, which is a little bit insane. Yeah, we'll see where we go for our third map. I believe it's Esperanza for both teams. Again, could be a 3-0, another one. Will we see another full completion with 0 meters? Probably not. There's just no way. So. Just how this series is panning out thus far. Although that would be ridiculous. Probably the first time in like Overwatch League or like Overwatch competitive history where that's happened, where there's back-to-back-to-back full completions, but very unlikely on the face of things. But Esperanza is our map up next, and Peace and Love. I mean, if they can keep this kind of pace and this like synergy with their backlines as well is just very, very clean. And we're talking a lot about the Orisas in these matchups because a lot of the time the comp kind of hinges around like getting the enemy Orisa to use CDs and then kind of pouncing. And they've been doing a fantastic job of that. But the backline for Peace and Love deserves a shout out as well. It's a lot of time. I always want to make sure, you know, it's maybe because I'm a support player, but sometimes support players don't get enough love. Although Kiri might be a little bit strong. But yeah, that's why I'm always calling out the Suzus on the pulses. DPS players, you know, sometimes you get all the flashy, cool plays. At least we can deny a couple of them, you know.
I agree. No, I agree. I've always appreciated that you call out the Suzus that come out, and I think that's a really difficult spot for a lot of these support players to be in. Is even when we were taking a look at that series versus what do you actually use the Suzu for? I think that can also be very difficult for Kiritos to time right now.
No, it's not happening.
Like Tire or Pulse Bomb, you're so screwed because you can only save one of those.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
There's no way you're getting a Suzu on a Tire. That is like a miracle Suzu if you land that. Most junks holding that thing for eternity and then just like, boop, hearing that Suzu sound. All right, let's load into Esperanza. Our third map of the series. Could it be another 3-0? Closer one, though. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, would you look at that?
That's not a pigeon.
That's not.
Do you feel better about this?
Yeah, and it's not moving, so we're all good. We're chilling about this.
Still has the same beady eyes, though. Actually.
It does. It actually kind of does, yeah. All right. I think both teams are probably going to stick to the same thing. Just TP out with the Sims. Just well drilled and well kind of practice on this comp. Especially moving this lower bracket, you can't make any kind of mistakes.
I think something that Supershy need to shore up, though, and this is another point that you were touching on as well, is that like sometimes they're just not on the same page when to use their ultimates and what they're being used for. Sobek actually talked about this a little bit in a recent interview, where sometimes like you use the sound barrier, maybe the whole team isn't on the same page about being able to actually use that overhealth to get a little bit more aggressive. And I think the same could be said for when Takuno actually went for the Kitsune rush there at the end of Eichenwalde. There wasn't a team left to be able to actually go forward with that. And you would have loved to see either of those ultimates saved on one of those maps to actually be able to come back into another fight with. So I hope that Supershy, they were able to kind of like talk to each other, take a couple of deep breaths, and they can approach this next map with just similar synergies on how to attack these points.
Well, let's see how long it takes for the first kills to come through. I always love that about Push. Just set the stopwatch, and wait for the kills to come in. Oh, nice spear onto
30 more
Zoro in the back.
seconds.
Oh, Psycho.
Just kidding.
Psycho was trying to punish Zoro for getting speared into the wall, but unfortunately, a fully charged railgun met their heads. Oh. All right. All right, Supershy. Okay. Nice first fight. Another stagger kill will be really nice. Oh, there you go. All right. Good stuff. Really nice start here from Supershy.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have a Kitsune Rush by the time that Peace and Love are able to get back. And even still, getting some really decent amount of poke damage down, where Peace and Love, they're uncomfortable to want to try to actually come in and contest this, while the push bot is being pushed all the way to that checkpoint.
They've got checkpoint already. That is a very fast cap. Maybe Peace and Love having a couple of flashbacks right now to their space station match. Like, ooh, this is a little rough for us. But they have come back from crazier. Oh, speaking of which, Zoro had no clue they were there, it looked like. My word, a bit out of nowhere. Insta-kill with a spear. And the bot has been stopped. They're rushing this. Oh, okay. I'm not sure about that rush at all. They've stolen the bot, and you're only 3. Any more ultimate usage here from Supershy, I think, is a very grave error. Oh, a nice hit on the pulse bomb. From Hattori.
Ooh, that rush just, like, didn't feel good there because it didn't get any value. Maybe they know something I don't about using that right there, but at least they have other ults to use.
Uh-oh. The flashbacks are setting in for Peace and Love. Team dead. 7 minutes to go. Checkpoint unlocked for Supershy. I mean, they've also come back from crazier things, right? They had that really close Esperanza versus D'Empiro in the first round. That was like so close, like true nail biter. D'Empiro could have set them up to reverse sweep, but the raw power of Peace and Love really prevailed. So they've been on both ends of it, right? They've had like crazy comebacks. They've also had like flattenings against Space Station, so.
Well, hopefully this is where they can kind of keep turning it around. These two teams are still kind of at a standstill until we see this overclock unleashed.
All right, double sound barrier. It looks like Tekuno on high ground did not receive any of that overhealth. And now the reverse sound overclock from Zoro. I mean, Lauren didn't stand a chance. This is a nice little angle too, if you could click some heads. Zoro not finding extra damage with the overclock, but it's all good. Still with a decent position to punish LSU. Now he's got Baya in his sights. Oh, my word. See you later. Nice boot there, actually, from Sobek, just sending him flying into the LOS. And Zoro cleans house on the Sojourn, and Supershy gains some additional meterage.
Well, and then they have the Kitsune Rush back. What a better place to use it than on the straightaway that they're heading into to start approaching that final objective. Peak does have an answer to this, though. Could lay down that Kitsune Rush as well. So then you kind of look at Pack on Supershy to make maybe that bit of a difference. With that Pulse Bomb, can you attach it to somebody and also force out the Suzu?
Well, the Pulse Bomb came out. That almost destroyed the front line there, but I mean, Suzu's all the extra healing as well from that rush. Tekuno using theirs too. I mean, rush for rush. Tekuno desperately trying to heal Zoro. I don't think they're going to be able to escape here. I mean, maybe 2 HP, all good. Okay, they managed to get away. That would have been a really nice stagger kill coming through from Peace and Love, but unable to kind of finish off that kill, although looks like they want to press the issue on high ground, but Hattori's going to join them in just a moment.
Tracer versus Tracer, though, will be fun. The high ground push. Hattori's already moving in, though, with that Spear Spin and doesn't have it now to be able to try to eat up this Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, no Spear Spin, no gold either. However, that Suzu did save them. The majority of that incoming damage as Zoro takes to the high ground again, trying to get a good angle on the back line, but it's going to be harder now with that sound barrier coming in from Bia. Sobek is dead. And now Hattori trying to find targets, being the DPS the team needs right now by the looks of it. As Lauren and Abik end up falling. Hattori just chasing, just chased the enemy Orisa. They're all on their lonesome on the high ground. Again, another scrappy fight, kind of breaking down in Orisa 1v1 almost. Oh, Hattori gonna run. I mean, there's no way unless they use that sound barrier. Yeah, they're gonna unleash it. 3-man beat there from Sobek, but Hattori still ends up falling, but so does LSU. I mean, these fights are ridiculous.
Oh my god. There's still no progress being made on this push bot. Maybe now Peace and Love are finally able to start moving that forward. But we still have 4 minutes left, and it feels like anything can happen when these ultimates are getting thrown out left and right. Lauren with his overclock ready too, looking at that high ground control, maybe forcing them to move out into the open with the disruptor shot so they aren't just hiding on the stairs.
Okay, well they have
5v5 though again.
Like you said, they have the overclock on the high ground. Pack dodging back to the mega health pack. And Psycho in a whole lot of trouble now. Oh, missed the melee. Got him with the second time. Pulse bomb in the hands. He's got a target in sight too. That pulse bomb not quite landing. Didn't get the damage in as Lauren just unleashes the overclock. So Pack was not welcome in the house of Lauren. That Suzu as well not available to Peace and Love, but it doesn't matter. They got the rush on the point. And that's what counts. They're continuing to move this payload, but Supershy have the high ground. Someone needs to win a definitive team fight here. Otherwise, it's just going to be a juggling of the bot again. As you can see, Supershy regaining control. Tekonu finally using the Suzu to save the rest of the team. And this might be the team fight wipe that they were looking for. Peace and Love lose 3, and it's a 2-on-5 now for Supershy as the bot is in their favor.
All right, so able to finally get that decisive team fight win, and Supershy also going to have that ultimate advantage heading into the next fight. Terror Surge, you can combo that with the overclock. Maybe Pack even gets a pulse bomb to have their fun little Terror Surge pulse bomb combo. But these Lucio beats are going to be so important. Zero can also just like kind of push the pressure now with this overclock.
Oh, trying to find the Lucio.
Oh,
LSU taking a lot of damage, and Zora a little bit too scared as well to get their heads ripped off by the enemy Soj. 100+ meters now for Supershy. Tori does have the Terror Surge available, so their staying power on this point is pretty ginormous, but they're going to choose to back off. Just wait, buy their time. Pulse bomb on the ground, didn't end up connecting, but the damage was done to the front line as Hattori falls, but still Supershy coming up with kills on height. It's just a mess, really, this fight. Lauren, Pack, and Zoro just trading kills back and forth. Very much in favor, though, of Supershy with the meter advantage. 60+ over Peace and Love right now.
I mean, Pack is just keeping them busy. Still tussling over the bot. Peace and Love can't get that back into their territory yet before the rest of the reinforcements in Supershy come out of that forward spawn. So they already got high ground control as Peace and Love have to take this bot back to the neutral, and that's where Tekuno can just use this Kitsune rush.
Exactly what they're doing. They're waiting for LSU to jump in. There's the Terror Surge. Nice little Suzu on top of that Lucio to keep them alive. Sobing being saved, but not for long, apparently. There was a Terror Surge on low ground. Probably pulled someone down to low, but Hattori didn't land too much with it. Nice spear on the Lucio. It is a very deathmatchy, and can they secure another kill? Both supports on top of each other. It doesn't look like Hattori can, so she's going to back off. 55 seconds to go. And Peace and Love have got a mountain to climb. About a 60-meter vertical leap required by the looks of it. They've come back from worse, though.
Well,
the Impera game was extremely close, and they did win it out.
They sure did. Maybe that vertical leap you're talking about might be accomplished with something like this Winston. LSU is going to switch over to that to try to take these engagements faster.
There you go. That's a good start with Zora down. Okay, clean team fight win. This is all you need if you're Peace and Love. LSU is pretty damn low and manages to survive with the help of Loren, who on that Sojourn was cleaning up the kills. Right, we got checkpoint in the sights. Still got to get that butt scratch mode initiated, so it does leave Supershy with an opportunity to come back in.
Yeah, but overtime is going to activate, and Winston is not known for having the best point presence compared to something like the Orisa, especially when you want to try to jump onto that enemy backline. So you have to play a bit more reactively if you're going to be LSU. Already getting stopped out of that jump.
Just getting cyberbullied in the front. Like, good stick, even better Suzu. Coming from Tekuno, saving Zora's life, but Tori's already dead. Suzu was chosen on the Sojourn. You could have used it on the Winston. Either one would have died, or the Orisa, sorry. Either one would have met a horrible fate, regardless. And with overtime, this is where Peace and Love thrive by the looks of things. 64 meters and counting now as they find almost a complete team wipe. But Supershy going to come back into this one with a rush almost, with a sound barrier and that Terror Surge.
Yeah, they have a lot to be able to throw at this, especially when the Kitsune Rush is going to be able to match that of Hepix. But Sobek is going to go back to spawn to at least get a taxi out. Has the sound barrier, though, which is going to be so
That's
important.
a very early rush. Hitori's a little bit in trouble, receiving a lot of healing, hit nade on LSU. They need this Primal Rage, 65 health, no jump, no health. Sobek takes the kill, and there it is, Supershy. At the very end, Peace and Love just tried to get it over the line, 10 meters to go, but they couldn't quite clutch it out. And we are going to a map number 4 as Supershy claim a victory on Esperanza.
So close. We are getting a map number 4. We got almost a complete turnaround there from Peace and Love, and I'm just so happy we have some close Overwatch right now.
No more 3-0s, we're all good. Yeah, map number 4.
No more 3-0s.
Maybe it was a little bit of flashbacks from the space station game, like I was saying before, right? I mean, they got full capped. Like, okay, maybe we're not that good at that map. It's like, no, you are good at that map. It's
They
just
got
space
some
station
meters
gaming.
on the board.
Oh, great. Well, exactly, right. It's still pretty close. They almost managed to clutch it out. It was like a carbon copy of the DM Pyrrha game, just slightly getting beat out at the very end. Supershy keeping themselves alive in this series. The reverse sweep can start here for them. Of course, they made it to this position too, beating 3-0 to get into this series. We'll see if Supershy can kind of continue this as we move forward. But that map was just so DM heavy.
It's been so heavy. It's been so scrappy. I think that's something that Supershy did a lot better job of on this map, is actually being able to work together with the ultimates that they used. Even at the very end there, it felt like we saw just too early of a Kitsune Rush from Peace and Love, which I think was something we weren't really expecting to see. But Supershy, they were able to just watch their angles, make sure that they were locking down all the sight lines. I think especially when you look at just how Zoro was playing the Sojourn, had way better sight lines. I think Hitori created a lot of space in that regard.
Yeah, I like the Winston look at the very end. It was so unfortunate. You can see here in the replay, 10% away from the Winston from getting that Primal Rage. Could have been the big difference maker, but every kind of cooldown was invested to try and save the Winston, but Hitori's just kind of vibing, chilling. So I got Terror Surge. You can't get away. Like, there's just no way. And as soon as you take down the Winston, like you were mentioning, very little point presence there for the character unless you got the Primal. Could have been the big difference maker, but Supershy shut it down. There are some stats for you on your screen. Pretty similar across the board. Again, another very close map as we go to Surasa as our next one.
Oh man, I talk about scrappy. If Esperanza looks like that, I have no idea what to expect on Surasa. I think that's going to be crazy. Just more Orissas, more walking past the front line. Hitori does a great job of being able to do that, so maybe that's just the extra component that they could use on Supershy, but I don't know. This is such a close match, and I'm really excited to see that from both of these teams, knowing that there's still a spot on the line for somebody to go with Ents and Space Station to Dallas. We don't have an idea yet of what that team is going to be.
Yeah, that third place. We were talking about at the very top of the day, to be fair, like the fourth place being kind of open and ready for someone to kind of claim that point. But hey, third place is open now as well, right? I mean, it very much could happen, especially after how Twisted Minds look today. A little bit disappointing. Maybe Peace and Love or Supershy can jump in and claim that spot and book their ticket to Dallas. No substitutions from either side as we go on to our fourth map of the series. No more 3 Overwatch here in EU, not today, as Surasa is the pick of Supershy here.
And everything else is still on the line. Not just that third spot to be able to go to Dallas, but also their life in this tournament. Somebody on Peace and Love and Supershy is going home at the end of this match. So you know that everybody is giving it all that they have to throw at this one. As Supershy could just be on a run to try to get us to a map number 5, especially if they can keep playing together like they did on Esperanza. Having better game plans, executing together, just being able to be more confident in the plays that they're making.
All right, we'll see if there's any kind of different look. I think, again, just kind of defaulting to the Orisa seems the safest option to me. I think Zoro is also kind of lit up the stage, I'd say, on that last map. We'll see if they can also continue that. Tale of two very scrappy teams.
I don't know what else to expect outside of that. I think, oh my god.
Why is there pigeons on
They're
every
here
map?
too?
I mean, pigeons, I think Zoe was saying during the break that the people with fear of birds, like, is mostly a fear of pigeons. I guess it's because they're the most common bird. Are they the most common bird in the world? I don't know. Surely, right?
Either that or...
Crows?
I was going to say that or seagulls.
Oh, seagulls is actually a good shout, yeah. Maybe seagulls? I don't know.
I don't know. It probably is pigeons, actually. You get them everywhere. They're in North America. They're in Europe. Really in Italy. It's scary,
Just
honestly.
Rats with the wings is what they are. I don't like pigeons. What can I say?
It's okay. I think you're with the majority of people that might not like them. But we love Overwatch, and we love these two teams. And we're going to go ahead and do a listen-in to see how these teams are approaching this fight. Nope, just kidding.
Not
I heard that wrong.
Yet. All good. Just the dueling of the Orisas. Wouldn't have it any other way. Hattori taking a prime position on the point. She ends up rotating her team over, and that's a pretty quick cap. As Surasa goes, that's pretty speedy, I'd say. It's going to be tough to kind of get
very
back
much
up
a fast take.
on the high ground here too. You have to burn so much as the tank to get here, but this is a good spot for Lauren to be in, dodging the spear too. Looking good. Okay. Here comes the cap percentage from Peace and Love as they manage. Okay, no, someone is stalling right now. They've got to get him off. And there's the cap. Okay, nice little flip. No kills just yet from either side. There's Lauren trying to kill somebody. A good little boop from Sobek sends Lauren careening off the edge of that high ground.
Such a standstill, though. Peace and Love are able to grab that terrain back, but look at this. Pulse Bomb Suzu to come in there, but these Kitsune rushes, oh my god.
And there's the first kill. It's onto Tekuno. After using that rush, both sound barriers deployed, Pulse Bomb as well. Throw everything into this fight. You're gonna need it. That's a tough spot for Hattori to be in there with no CDs and just forced into the corner. Peace and Love come out on top. That was a very nice early kill there on to Tekuno from Psycho. Good focus fire. They might just be able to take this one too. There should be a quick regroup from Peace and Love, sorry, from Supershy, but it might be tough to kind of get back in.
Contest. I think the tough comes from the fact that they have to walk into an overclock from Lauren. If you set up on the high ground, you have really good sight lines into where Supershy would approach from, and then you're forcing out so many different cooldowns that Alessio can go in and actually push.
It's like we've got an Echo in here or something, like both soldiers using their ults exactly the same time. Tekuno, unfortunately, falls prey to it. Oh, Lauren as well too, just sliding on back, a double for the overclock. Zora trying to even up the score, but no, OT is not forced yet again. Is that only the Lucio survived. Sobek goes down last. First cap to Peace and Love.
It was looked really clean as well. I think it was a great use of the overclock to get in there. Zaro being able to hit that and still be able to match some of those picks was still very impressive. But as we head over to Ruins, I'm looking at Hattori being able to just clump everybody together. Supershy is able to get in there first. With this Terror Surge online, you don't really have a great thing to combo with it yet if Pac is not able to get up to this Pulse Bomb, but at least you're able to kind of help with the Terror Surge.
Oh, Sobek! Oh, that's so
Sobek already?
Yeah, that's
the Disruptor shot.
Disruptor shot, lots of it, yeah, just, I think got railgunned initially, and then, yeah, just had nowhere to hide, basically. Oh, nice little play there by Psycho, not letting the Tracer get away. Good cap from Peace and Love. Yeah, that pick on Sobek just disastrous for the game plan of Supershy.
Oh, that's so rough. We've seen this a lot, though, from Peace and Love, being able to mark down Lucio, just knowing that supports are so pivotal to be able to keep yourselves in these fights. If you don't have the Lucio, you don't have the mobility, and the rest of the team can get picked off way easier. So it's been really great to watch that. I mean, look, you watch the Pulse Bomb, Hattori gets the eat.
Oh, there's another stick coming through. No Suzu, but they've got a sound barrier to back him up. Here come the rushes. There's the kills. Again, both the Kirikos almost instantly using rushes at the same time. Big kills, though, onto the front line of Peace and Love. Alashu and Abik fall to Zoro's railgun again. Zoro showing up, I think, for Supershy. Looked a little bit quiet, maybe in map number 1, but really coming alive on the Soj now as they end up getting the cap at 68% for Peace and Love.
And they're coming into this one with a bigger combo as well. You have the Terror Surge as well as either the Pulse Bomb or the Overclock. Lauren's been able to get some really nice angles, and even though it's a little bit more difficult on Ruins because you do have to use the Power Slide in order to actually figure out your positioning, you already have high ground again, and you mark Zoro as soon as they get up there.
Well, I'm not sure Lauren's going to be a factor in this fight at all. We actually got forced out by Zoro after receiving a beat. Sobek booping away the Tracer also. There's the Terror Surge from LSU. And Peace and Love don't need to do it with the Sojin, apparently. It's all on the Orisa. They end up using that Terror Surge, and then the rest is history, really. Supershy forced to reset. And Zoro Pack, they do have the DPS ultimates, but once again, Peace and Love, they've done this previously. Like, you just play up. This is what a lot of teams do now, especially with Supershy having ults. They're going to be forced to either basically not touch, not go for a touch here, or use ults to try and get onto the point. Looks like they're going to try for it. It will be the Tracer that gets in there. Psycho down, but Sobek falls too.
No way.
Once again, Sobek from Supershy falling first in a fight. Now the point is being contested right now. Oh my god, Pack. Didn't see that one coming. Tried to dash to the little health pack. And now Hattori in a world of hurt, forced to use pretty much every cooldown, try and chase down this Lucio. It was pretty low. Hattori still coming up with kills though, miraculously. I mean, Peace and Love still control the point. Here's the sound barrier from Peace and Love. All focus now going towards LSU. But it is Hattori that falls. Supershy investing so much into this fight, but they are going to fall regardless. A 99% to 72. That is the second checkpoint or a capture point for Peace and Love.
Wow. And they only need one more after this. They only need one more, and at every single turn, Peace and Love have had such a good response to whatever Supershy has laid down. And they had to push it there. It's so tough because you're already down 2 flashpoints. You had already invested ultimates in order to engage in that fight, but that fight was messy. Jaws, it didn't really feel like they were able to play together around any of those ultimates, or even just as a team of 5. They're able to get to Gardens first, but the ultimate advantage is still... Oh my god.
Okay, chill. We're chilling.
I was still worried
Trace
for a
had the
second.
recall.
Trace
had the
someone's
recall.
going off the edge.
We're chilling. Pulse Bomb goes wide. Heard the Suzu anyway. A Beak just making sure. Terror Surge available. LSU spots the backline. Oh, you know they want it. But unfortunately, Hattori picks up the kill on your Soj, so not sure there's a chance for you to get back into this one. Nice stagging. It's nice staggers too on a Beak.
Really good round pick, though. Yeah. It's like good round picks, good staggers, Supershy once again off to a very good start on this flashpoint. But they have to be able to convert this over to a success.
Right.
They're staring down the barrel of heading home to Peace and Love. They have to get this flashpoint to extend their life in the series. But at the very least, they have this overclock from Zoro to work off of. Lauren does not have one. So Zoro on the defensive side and can just kind of hit it now. Oh, it could save it too.
Nice kill. Any extra kills here are a bonus. Doesn't look like they're going to be afforded any, though. 65%. I mean, Supershy, this is going to be last fight on this point, especially with how long these fights have normally been going. Very decisive, though. Peace and Love backing off as soon as they lose one. They know if they get a quick reset, they can go again. Psycho forced to recall's not great. But Pulse Bomb Terror Surge combo could be deployed. There's the rush. Tekuno only 10% away as Zoro tries to turn the tide with this overclock. There's the Orisas trying to take off. Helicopter mode on the points. Oh, Tekuno again letting go of this this rush like so late into some of these fights, and they just get annihilated. Another pulse. I mean, maybe they can get back into this one, but I'm not sure Pack has a recall though. No. Supershy throwing in ultimates very late into these engagements after losing the point as well. Like, that's rough. You're not going to have this for the re-engage.
No, that feels so bad. I mean, it's like the Kitsune Rush, I think you hope that that's enough to tip the scales in your favor, and then when that falls through, it's like, okay, maybe the Pulse Bomb, if we throw this in there, that's gonna be enough, but there just weren't enough cooldowns to keep Pack alive, and there was not enough follow-up. So once again, Supershy are on the back foot heading into this with no ultimates. The onus on Peace and Love to shut them out here and now.
Well, here comes the overclock from Loren. He's trying to line up some bodies. Hitori ends up going down first. They were pretty aggressive, like pushing on to the point, and Peace and Love were more than happy to accept them into their loving arms. And a quick reset here from Supershy. This is their final opportunity to come back in this map and come back in this series as well. They've got to be really decisive here. They've got to find an initial pick. Zoro's been really good for them thus far, but they need one right here, right now. It's going to be a close touch as well. It's 95% Rose.
Ooh, they're barely able to get there, but now with what?
They get OT, they got booped again. Sobek is down first. OT, who's here to touch? Who's here to touch? It's going to be the Tracer, but they're so low. Pack has to stay alive, same with Hitori, but that might just be it. Psycho and Loren are going to be able to clean up Peace and Love with a 3-0 victory on Surasa. They move on in the lower brackets and knock Supershy out of the tournament.
Oh, Peace and Love unfazed by their loss earlier on today. As this is a very different looking team than what we ended up seeing versus Space Station. So I think it feels good for them to not only be able to like mentally come back from that, because that is a tough loss to take, but also to be able to turn it around into a victory and extend their tournament run. Congratulations to them. Everybody is Supershy as the favorite in this match.
Yeah. Ooh, oh dear. The desk's faces are looking rather... Okay, Zoe's looking really happy. Zoe's looking really happy. But Peace and Love, yeah, they will advance. And yeah, how's everybody looking over there? How's everybody
Fantastic.
feeling?
Thank you
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, yeah. Well, okay, I'm going to leave now.
Honestly, we don't mind being wrong if we get treated to some real good, solid Overwatch. And that's what we've seen from Peace and Love here. So incredible performance. A lot of people would have thought that maybe, you know, the mental would be at least a little cracked after this series early today. But no, they just rocked up and they meant business.
Yeah, really solid. I think especially in the support line, it felt the difference there from the side of Peace and Love. Just a little bit more consistent in terms of the ult usage and their overall full team pressure. Just felt more aggressive. I did see a lot of good things from Supershy, especially Hitori. I thought her movements on Orisa were still really solid. A lot of like opening picks from the spears was crucial, but I think they ended up being almost too dependent on that. Like we did not getting enough picks from the hit scan. Hit scan I also felt favored pretty heavily on Peace and Love. A little bit more coming out from that side.
Yeah. Yeah, it was such a close matchup. I mean, especially that Eichenwalde, you know, comes down to overtime and it's like, oh, you had one fight to like really defend. And then, you know, are you going to push now with the Kitsune Rush? And maybe it was a bit premature from Supershy to kind of go with your Kitsune Rush. Like, it was a really close series. Then even Control here went back and forth. We did get to see the Winston, just like we asked for, Jake. So that's
like
always lovely
Winston.
to see. Love to see a little Winston here. And really, it was a great Tracer duel at times between Pac and Psycho as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was a really exciting matchup overall. Peace and Love. I think we got to talk about the fact how far this team has made it now. You could have questioned Peace and Love in the group stages, like, oh, they didn't have the strongest group in Group D, but now they made it out to this event. They beat down Supershy as well here. So like, this has been a really the Impero in the run previous as well. What an incredible rise for a big team who turned Peace and Love here, and now you're making it deep into the main event. You know, it's probably not going to be enough to ultimately qualify for OWCS Dallas. It would have to be an incredible glow up this weekend because you have to compete with the likes of ENCE and Space Station. But like, really, you've been taking it to some of the best competition in Europe. You know, even now I might look at like Peps, Twisted Minds. That's really like the next kind of like level I think we're looking at for Peace and Love here. So really, just a fantastic stage 2 here from Peace and Love, and this is what we really wanted when it comes to OWCS. You know, the FACEIC League starting up as well. It's new teams like this, fresh faces. Really happy for these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, something you have to keep in mind here, even if the team, which has been thrown together just for OWCS, like shortly before the roster lock, even if they wouldn't be sticking together, the individual players, they may or may not, with a performance like this in a tournament like that, may have put themselves on the map for other teams to pick him up, because now not only do they have the talent, but also they have the points, which could boost your team heading into the later stages of OWCS.
Right.
So that can be a big boost.
I mean, that's usually how like these next contenders are formed. If you got 2 or 3 teams at the top, if you wanted to add an additional team to the top, most often it's not going to be a full team that comes together naturally, already knowing each other, already being friends. It's going to be these types of teams making pretty respectable runs in the tournament. Maybe some of the best players on a few teams making good runs can coalesce together and form a team that together could take on the likes of Twisted Minds or Peps. And I do feel for Peace and Love, though, we have to look at this roster as a serious threat. It's not that Twisted Minds and Peps are these untouchable tyrants of the region. So I feel, these matches really, it's an any given day situation. As long as your hit scan's performing and, your supports aren't feeding, you'll be okay. Your team play is going to decide the match more than any sort of huge individual 1v1 gaps. So I really think there's a lot of room here for Peace and Love to potentially continue to make a run, earning a few more circuit points for the pocket and a little bit of cash too, a little bit of cash money. Never hurt.